Hello, 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 hello. My name is Joshua. Decided to go live today to go see if any one of you had questions about stocks, about investing. Um, you know, a lot of things are gonna happen this coming week, and I wanted to see if anybody had questions because the Fed's going to raise their interest rates this week. So all the stock investors are ready. They're waiting to see if the stock market is going to tank based on why when the Feds raise the rates this coming week on Thursday actually. So that is a big thing happening. We also have everybody's worried about a recession and whether a recession is going to happen, and we are just a lot of people are worried in the stock market, and so that is something that has been translating. Even though the stock market had one of the best weeks ever. You know, the Dow increased 10 days straight. It had a positive green day 10 days straight. So people are kind of antsy. Maybe this coming week might be a red week because as people anticipate the federal government raising the rates, um, it might set off some alarms and people might end up selling off. So this week might be a red week in the stock market. So those are things that people are worried about in the stock market. When it comes to raising interest rates, it definitely affects everything else. It affects borrowing. Let's see, people commenting. Let me see. Well, trying to see the comments. Apparently, people are asking. Let's see. Policy available. Let's see. Where is the comment? Yes. So rates are going up this week. Yeah, definitely. Rates are going up this week. The Feds are expected to raise rates by 25 points on Thursday because they're trying to curb recession. So people are antsy because every time the Feds raise rates, hold on, maybe I need to switch my camera this way. Oh, okay. Can only have it this way. Okay, so every time the Feds raise rates, it's been very bad for the stock market because the stock market usually tanks right after they raise the rates. So, uh, okay. So, so yeah, rate the federal government is gonna raise the rates this coming week, and so everybody is kind of antsy because if the Feds raise rates and the stock market pulls back again, it's not gonna be good. And inflation is still going up, but people are still buying and still spending money, and the Feds are not happy about that. And so that is making a lot of people. uh, antsy because if the Feds are not satisfied with the way the economy is going, what's going to happen? They're going to raise the rates even more. And as they raise the rates, borrowing is going to stop. Banks are going to stop lending. People are going to stop borrowing and basically put the economy at a standstill, which will negatively affect banks because banks depend on lending to make money. So if banks are not lending anymore, they're not going to make any money. You know. So that's a big deal that's happening this week. What else is coming up? Of course. So that is going to affect the stocks negatively this week. But on a positive note, we're going into traveling season, and we're going into cruise lines and everything. Cruise ships this year season. So airline stocks have been seeing a good push. Okay, so that's something to keep in mind. Airline stocks, cruise ship stocks, travel stocks in general are doing really well this season because this is a travel season. So like American Airlines, even the American Airlines, like if you look at American Airlines, it's AAL in the stock market. Okay, that's their stock ticker. So AAL they didn't do too well on Friday and on Thursday because the earnings came out and they didn't do too well. But I think they're still gonna bounce back up because, like I said, this is their season. Okay, this is their season. So if you're looking to invest in some stocks for the season, I'll say airline stocks and cruise ship stocks. Okay. Now, when it comes to technology has been doing well too. But Tesla gapped up pretty well earlier, and then they kind of slumped. But I think EV stocks are being manipulated right now, so that's something that we should also keep in mind. You know. So yeah, um, I definitely will. And then of course we were talking about we're also looking into real estate. A lot of real estate has been going on, but because of the increase in rates, real estate has kind of softened a little bit. Real estate buying has kind of stunted a little bit because the rates are so high right now. Like the rates are super high right now. Like people are mortgages are like at 5%, 4% interest rates, and so people are kind of scared to buy at those rates of because you're gonna be locked in with those rates for like 30 years. So it's not for me. I would say it's a good time to buy if the market is if the house is in a really good neighborhood in a really good location and you have a really good price. Because what happens when you buy real estate, you can always refinance, right? When the rates go back down again, you can always refinance. But don't invest or buy a property after doing comp. Don't buy a property that is so overvalued that eventually you're going to have to be underwater because this house is so expensive and the other houses in the neighborhood are not even up to that price. So that's something to be very, very careful about. Whenever you're buying into a neighborhood, always make sure that your house is averagely priced compared to the other houses in that neighborhood. And so that is another thing to keep in mind. Okay. So when you're buying in this time, make sure, like I said, make sure you're buying a house that is not ridiculously priced above the comp. And people who are buying houses are into real estate. They know what comp is. Comp is basically like comparing the prices of all the other houses in that area you're buying and making sure your house is averagely priced. You don't want to be in a neighborhood that the comp is like $500,000, and then your house, you go and buy a house in there for like 700,000 or $800,000. It's not gonna make any sense. So that's why you have to make sure that when you're buying into a neighborhood, especially at this time where the interest rates are very high, that your house is averagely priced. Okay, so this is definitely not a bad time to buy. Make sure you're buying within comp, and make sure you're buying in a good location. So that maybe later on, after you've locked in this high interest rate, you can always go ahead and refinance later. So that's something that you have to keep in mind. And that another thing about like stocks that I've been thinking about is EV stocks. I think honestly that the EV stock hype is kind of fading away. Last week or 2 weeks ago, all the EV stocks are doing pretty well. Rivian was did really well. Tesla did really well. Lucid did really well. Um, who else? Neo did really well. All these EV stocks are doing really well 2 weeks ago, even up to last week. But this week they kind of tapered off because some of the investors realized it was all hype. Tesla kind of pulled back a little bit, and I think Rivian is pulling back. Is going to be pulling back pretty soon, even though Rivian went from like $16 or like $15 all the way to $25 right now. So that was a big. Anybody who caught that gap up, that rally was very very lucky. Rivian definitely did well, but I think the pullback is happening already, and I honestly think next week is going to be a red week, because usually the market anticipates a rate increase, and they kind of pull back. People start selling off before the rate increase happens, and then after the rate increase happens, then they kind of come back up again. So that's what. So up until Thursday, the market might do a little bit of sell off. They might sell off a little bit just to anticipate the rate increase on Thursday by the Feds. I think that increasing it by 25 points. So once they increase it on Thursday, the market will now start coming back up again. So that's something to keep in mind this week for those who are in the stock market. And of course, people are still watching China. China's economy is not doing very well, honestly. China's economy, the past few weeks, the economy has been taking a lot of beating. Their GDP is decreasing. A lot of things are really going bad in China's economy. That's affecting the European stocks and the American stocks too. So that's something to keep in mind. And usually, when China is going through it, everybody else is scared because China is one of the biggest economies in the world, and so that might have a little bit negative impact on the American stock market too. So that's something where everybody's been watching. And what else? What else is affecting us? I think the Russian and Ukraine war, is kind of tapering off also. So yeah, so that basically is that, and those are things to keep in mind. I just wanted to come on here real quick. This is my first time going live. I wanted to come in here, look through, and see how this goes. And I think next time we'll have a list of stocks. I'll have a list of stocks to talk about. We can maybe do some reviews online of the stocks and see, whether they're good investments. And people can chime in. You can tell me what stocks you want me to review, and we could do a one-on-one live. And we could talk about that. We could talk about real estate. If you're trying to invest somewhere, we could always talk about that. I can give you my insight on real estate and the best places to invest in right now. So those are things that I hope to talk about in my live so that we can build a community. Because I have a lot of stock reviews on my personal page on the video section of my page, so you guys could go look through it. But I just wanted to have an interactive session so we can look through some of these stocks in real time, so that as we're looking at them, we can come up with decisions and talk about things that we need to worry about with these stocks. So that is basically what that's why I went live today, and I hope to do more of this in the future. So for now, this is all we have for today, but I'll do more of this where we'll talk about stocks and we'll talk about different things and different investing options and things of that nature so that we will get a better community of investing going because investing is the future. There's no way you can advance in this climate without investing. So that's something that you guys need to keep in mind. So for now, like I said, let's anticipate the Fed rate change on Thursday. Keep your eyes on the stock market. Thursday is a big day for the stock market. The Feds are going to increase the rates, the interest rates by 25 points. And so keep that look into that. Make sure you're looking at your stocks, watching your stocks. If you're investing in any stocks, watch them, see what they do. On Thursday, up until Thursday, watch see what they do, whether they retreat or whether they keep moving. See that, and then also after Thursday, see what happens, whether we rebound or whether we pull back, things like that. So that's how you'll notice and you see how the Feds influence the stock market. But until then, we'll talk more about the things. So yeah, just keep watch out for my next live. It's my first time. If you have friends who are interested in the stock market and to invest in, tell them to like and subscribe to my page, and we can do more talking and more reviews of some of these stocks. Because I want to learn from you guys, and I know you guys will learn a little one or two things from me too. So until the next time, I hope to just be tuned into the page so that we can have more of this going on. Okay, peace.